In 1972, the Pioneer 10 space probe was launched to explore beyond the asteroid belt to the planet Jupiter. 31 years and 12 billion kilometers later, NASA received its final signal from the satellite as it left the solar system for deep space. Back on Earth, a radio producer in Georgia felt the loss of communication with Pioneer 10 so deeply that he decided to replace it with a signal of his own. Actually, that's not entirely true. Hey, I'm Joe Silva, the host of Just Off the Radar, and even though we may have fudged the details of our origin story just a little bit, since we came on the air in 2003, we've produced over 500 radio programs featuring some of the best music in the known galaxy. From folk to techno and everything in between, we've tried to make this program the best weekly mixtape ever heard on public radio. Now, even though I said we just then, I really meant me, because apart from the occasional help from an unpaid intern or maybe a family member, this program has largely been a one-man gig from the very beginning. And while there are few things I love more than listening to new music and sharing it with our listeners, there's more music than you can imagine to sift through these days. Seriously, we could do a show every night of the week for a month without playing the same song twice and barely scratch the surface of what's out there at the moment. That said, after all this time, we've come to the point in the show's history where we really need some help to keep the show on the air. So we've set up a Patreon site. Patreon is a place where people can go to support the content that they're fans of by helping out with a small amount of money each month. It's like having a virtual tip jar. So check out our rewards and our stretch goals, and if you have the means and the inclination to help us out, not only will I be infinitely grateful, but so will the many artists we've featured over the lifespan of the program, many of which have limited opportunities to get their music heard. So if you've enjoyed the show and can toss us some petty cash, we'd really appreciate it, especially since we can't get a dime out of the puppy.